No, Notorious. Hey, how you doing? Guys and gals, ladies and gents, kids of all ages, I'm Hazard, this is Game Spasm, and welcome to the continued adventures of Capper Vril and his bounty hunting escapades in Notorious, the solo RPG game by Jason Price. And let's play, shall we? Without further ado, there's no more ado. If you're looking for ado, don't look for it here. In our last adventure, if you're not familiar with this, this is Hard Scrabble Bounty Hunting in an Intergalactic War, and our hero, in our last adventure, after feeling thrown off by visiting an artisan's shop that reminded him of his own childhood, also after getting knocked the fuck out by a herd of cattle while fighting an attractive bear. You missed a lot. You should be paying attention. He finds himself outside a burnt-down remnants of a building. The second burnt-down remnants of a building. Or I should say the burnt-down remnants of a second building. And this time around, while he was convinced that the first fire was set by his quarry, who is the mysterious Navi mod, a crystalline rude rule breaker who is being looked for because she allegedly killed the governor of a planet while they gave a speech. He has found out that that may not be true. That may not be the case. Also, maybe she didn't burn down the other building, because this building was clearly burnt down by someone who is a member of the Mystic Order, not the Jedis. So he is wondering. He finds himself on a desert planet that's not Tatooine, that is primarily ruled by the Targ cartel, not the Hutts. Oh no, there's a sneeze coming. Where's the pause button? Oh god. That was super close. I tried using hotkeys before, but I kept accidentally deleting. But I did pause the video. Anyways, I'm doing this for me, not for you. I want to play this game. Okay, so here we are. This is where we're at. We're standing outside the building that we found that was all burnt up. Come on, Alt-Tab. The building had a lot of books and papers, but all is destroyed, and he can't tell why, because he's not that bright. Oh, I need my Oracle deck. Hold on. I didn't hit the pause button. Let me try again. Hold on. Whew. I just ran up and down the stairs. Did you know that I actually have two encounter or Oracle decks? This one is the GM's Apprentice Sci-Fi deck that I told you about. Nathan Rockwood, what his name is. This is the Encounter Building Cards by Eric Bright. Eric Bright has done some prolific work in Ironforged and Starforged, but this is an encounter deck. This is actually the first one that I saw before I saw the GM Apprentice deck. This one is pretty cool. It's very similar. It's got the dice, the odds of yes. I'll do a video on this sometime, but I just thought, you know what? I haven't used this one, and since this is happening on a planet and not in space, I suppose that these cards would, do the trick. He has different themes and stuff too, but this is his standard encounter building deck. He calls it the decision deck. So we'll use this for our oracles today instead of the GM's Apprentice. And let's see where it brings us. Alright, let's see where we're going from here, kids. We are standing outside the burnt ruins of a building. We don't know why the Mystic Order burnt it, but we know that they did. Not trying to turn this into a mystery game, it just kind of is leaning that way. So that was actually, as the game loop for this game goes, you do exploration and then destination. So that was exploration. So next we roll on destinations. Do I have hotkeys set up? Aha, there it is. Alright, so we're rolling on destinations. Green, then red. 6, then 4. Pretty sure I haven't done that one yet. Oh, don't do that. 6, then 4. Locals here are acting strange with glazed expressions. A low hum emanates from a nearby building, and you investigate. Ooh. A crowd is singing and swaying in time to a drum beat. The mesmeric rhythm washes over you. Gain 1 motivation. What is this ritual celebrating? Yeah, there are people out there who are they probably just sit there and they hum to themselves and they come up with an answer. I need me an oracle deck to tell me what this ritual is celebrating. I'm going to use the, let's see, we have adjective and we have noun. Adjective and noun. Let's go with, we'll use both. We'll use one from 2 cards, right? So the first one is, there's 5 to pick from. Courageous and courageous beauty. Courageous beauty is what they're worshiping. Or what is the ritual celebrating? Courageous beauty. Well, that seems fairly straightforward. Ritual chanting for courageous. Anybody else be able to spell that on the first try? This is going to be local folk hero? Yes or no? Let's see. Oh, we don't need the dice on anymore. Turn that off. Local folk hero, yes or no? These cards have the no way, unlikely, 50-50, likely, or for sure. And they have yes and no but. So, I guess technically, I like these a little more because they have more variety of answers. We're going to say it's likely that it's a local folk hero. The answer is yes. Okay. So it's a local folk hero, and can I get I need I don't know, a description of this person. We'll say 4 out of 5. Whoa. Harmful, courageous beauty. So warrior, chanting to bring back. Well, let's think about who's on this planet. Courageous beauty. Okay, so they are obsessed over it was a lovely female member of the Mystic Order. Yeah. Who had sort of stood up against the Targ. Targ, is that what they're called? I think that's what they're called. She had stood up against the Targ cartel for people in the area, and they were enamored with her, right off the bat. They were enamored with her, and they wanted to see more of her, but she didn't stick around, and she doesn't actually live on the planet. As far as, they don't know what happened to her. They think that by chanting and humming and worshiping, she'll come back and visit them. Am I really going to sneeze again? Oh, God. What is going on? But they haven't seen her since the one time that she showed up, and she showed up, oh man, it was so long ago. It was half a year ago that she was there. So they wish they could see more of her. Capper, is impressed by the idea of this woman. And obviously, if she's so brave and beautiful, then that's right up his alley. But he doesn't stick around to find out more because he's got a job to do. Somebody's texting me, and I shouldn't be answering texts in the middle of recording this, but it's someone who's a celebrity. Not in this world that we're doing here, in a completely different sphere, and he's bad at texting, so I don't want to not answer. So, anyways, all right. So they're chanting for their bae, and she's not around. So Capper goes on his way back to the exploration table. All right, now we're getting closer and closer to finding it. The higher your notoriety, the more likely you are to find leads, and I have a notoriety of 4. So if I roll a 4, 5, or 6, I think. Oh, no, just a 4 or a 5. Well, let's do that. Let's roll a 4 or a 5. Okay, let's make this happen. That's right. Okay, so I have rolled a 5. If your notoriety is 3 or higher, you encounter a lead. Otherwise, roll on the events table. Let's go to a lead. Okay, before you can finish the job, you need to find a few leads, provide clues. All right, so first create a lead. To create a lead, first roll for showdown to establish the location where you encounter them in the wilderness. Okay. The first and second leads roll on the species and personality tables. I know I did this before, but it's been a minute. Okay. Caesar. Okay, and then roll on the leads table to discover who they are. So let's go to the showdown table, and we need a site and a setting. So green, then red. Okay. 1, then 6. You find them in the ruins of a gigantic crashed starship, searching for something. I want to get this down. Okay. A lead. Found searching for... Alright, I think that's what I said. Giant, yep, and then it was 6. A starfighter battle breaks out in the sky above? What? Bombarding the area with debris and stray laser fire. Oh my god. Okay. Starfighter battle breaks out in the sky above, strafing the area with what? Debris and stray laser fire. Holy shit. This is crazy. Why? Okay, so no, this works. So the lead is going through the gigantic starship. The starship just crashed. This isn't like a new crash. Or this isn't an old crash. This is one that just came down. It's smoking. So these things are fighting in the sky above. And can my guy tell... Now my guy's kind of a bruiser. He's not the brightest bulb on the tree. Can he tell by looking up whose ships these belong to? I'm going to say it's likely. Just because, I mean... You know, I can look at a Honda and tell it's a Honda, right? So, alright, so likely. Can he tell who these ships belong to? Likely, yes. Okay, so he can. We're going to say that these ships... So, we have 3 main factions here on the planet. So it's likely that they would be for those factions. Are these ships for the factions on this planet? Likely. No, but... Oh man, I gotta think about that. No, but... Okay, I don't know if this will pan out to anything, but no, the ships don't have the markings of any of the main 3 factions on this planet. But they also don't have the markings of anybody else. He doesn't really recognize them at all. They are of a design he is unfamiliar with, as is the one that's crashed on the planet in front of him that his lead is rifling through right now. It's a weird word. Is it rifling or rifling? I feel like it's a... Okay, so we have a lead, and the lead is we're having a showdown. So now we need species and personality. Let's go to that. Let's see. Species and personality. Green then red. 4 and 4. Amphibious. Okay. Wait, is that one of my people? Am I amphibious? I feel like I might be amphibious. I am. This is one of my people. And their name is Frico Valeli. You know, that guy. Frico Valeli. A weird name. It does sound kind of Italian. So we have Frico Lileli, and they are Kimono. All right. Can't type. Kimono. Gotcha. And we have their what you doing? There we go. Why does it keep going back so far? Okay, so we have our species and our personality. Let's see, the personality is going to be assured, calm, or focused. I don't want to pick. I'm going to have it pick 2, 4, 6, 4. Calm. Okay. What weakness are they trying to hide from others, or what potent item is the source of their confidence? I'm going to say that the potent item that's the source of their confidence isn't an item, but a belief. So this is a lead. They're calmly looting the ship. The shit. No. Knowing that they will find what they need eventually on one of the ships in the sky. Yeah, so their attitude, male or female, low or high, female, high. Alright, so it's a female. So she is very calm and assured and believes that, like, sooner or later, one of these ships are going to come down out of the sky and they're going to have what she's looking for, which is, we don't know yet. And I don't know that she's going to, tell us. Because why would she? She owes us nothing. Okay, so we roll on speed, personality, then roll on the leads to see who they are. Alright, let's find out who she is. 2. They're a dangerous accomplice of my target. Roll for their faction. Okay. A 4. So they're a minor faction. Oh, Mystic Order. What? This is totally the chick that those people were worshiping. This amphibious. I guess she's attractive. I don't know. According to them, hey man, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Maybe they thought it was her duty and her demeanor that was. See, I'm starting to wonder whether or not the person that I'm trying to capture here, Navi Mod, is also from the Mystic Order. I feel like I would know that. But anyways, so it was. Okay. So she's digging through the ship, and Capper comes upon her, and demands to know. Wait, what was it? She was their dangerous accomplice, right? Roll for their faction. We already did that. Resolve. What job were they hired to do, and why did they need the fast credits? She is searching for something that belongs to the Mystic Order that was taken from them by the old Empire, and and that's why the conversation starts, and Capper immediately demands to know whether or not she's the one. Oh, I have an idea. Okay, I'm not going to pretend that I know why these ships in the sky are fighting, but I like the idea that set up around her, this woman, this Mystic Order, totally not a Jedi, by the name of, what's her name? Frico? She's got like some mortars or some cannons set up, like some flak, that she, basically lured some of these people here to, talk these people into a fight, and then is now shooting them out of the sky in order to get an opportunity to shoot the ships, almost like she's shooting fish in a barrel, so that she can search them to look for whatever it is she's looking for. The MacGuffin. The famed Mystic Order MacGuffin. And so as Capper walks up and he surveys the scene, he's like, "You're the one. You've been burning the buildings." And she turns around and doesn't smile, doesn't really register anything at all, and she just says, "Some, as necessary. I need to find something." And he said, "Well, I need to find something too. And I have a feeling you know who exactly it is I'm looking for." And she says, "Of course I do." And as she says that, she very quickly and stealthily produces a laser cannon, whatever, laser rifle from behind her leg. And as she's picking it up, she starts a fight, and she does a hip shot, and she attacks at range. Oh, she has 3. No, sorry, I thought she had 3 health. I was like, oh my god, no, she has 3 plus 3 attack, and then plus 1 defense. So we're gonna have a fight. Let's go. All right, so I am rolling. What do I have? It's at range. I need to quickly close this range as much as possible because my rapid fire laser rifle is only a +1, then +2. Alright, so I have a +1. She has a +2. I have a yawn. More coffee. I'm going to just dump some of this coffee into my beard if you don't mind. Alright, so I'm rolling +1. She's rolling plus... Wait. A dangerous accomplice of your Wait. Oh my gosh, I'm messing this up. They're a dangerous accomplice of your target. Roll for their faction. I did that. I rolled a 2, right? Yeah. How have they... Oh my goodness. I can't look back at the footage. That's not how it works when I refuse to do editing. Okay, it definitely was not 3. And it definitely wasn't 1. I've just been I jump around too much. I apologize. Okay, it's number 2. So it wasn't that they were looking for a job for fast credits. It's how have they gained a reputation as a brutal fighter. They're a dangerous accomplice of your target. That's the correct one. Okay. Well, I'm glad because it's melee and I do better at melee. Okay. How are they gotten a reputation as a particularly brutal fighter? Processing. This is easy. So they are of the Mystic Order, and she's the one that's been lighting the fires, like killing. So she's like a dark. She's not. She's an unscrupulous Jedi. She kills people. People are afraid of her. She's calm, cold, and calculating, and so she does not produce a gun from behind her leg. She attacks me at melee, so as I'm walking towards her, she walks towards me, and she produces, obviously, it's not a laser sword, because that would be problematic, with my standard, hammer that would just get squished in half. Well, or would it? Wait a hot minute. Mine is a power hammer, people. A power hammer, okay? So maybe it would be just fine. In a combat against her laser. It's not gonna be a laser sword. It's gonna be a vibro blade type thing, right? It'll be like a glowing sword, but it's still made of metal. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, let's fight. All right, so my green versus her red. She is a +3, and I am a +4. Yeah, I got a little bit of an advantage there. I don't think there's anything else to consider in the attack. Nope. Okay, here we go. We're going into a fight. Okay, so I have a 3 + 4. She has a 5 + 3. She is doing... Hey, Brian, do that math. All right. She is beating me, so I'm going to use a motivation to re-roll. Ooh, actually, that's tricky. I rolled a 3. I'm kind of right in the middle. I could try to re-roll mine. Alright, let's do that. I'm going to re-roll my die. Yeah, see, that's 8 and 8, so she's still winning. I probably shouldn't have done that. Alright, so I lose a defense, which I only have 1 defense. So I'm down to 0. And she still has her full, her full defense. So we're going to go again. Oh my god. Jesus. Okay, it's a rough day for Capper. So, yeah, they're just going at it. Insert standard combat motif here. Bazong, bazong, power, hammer, flipping around. She's formidable. I mean, she's basically a Jedi. So should that be that surprising? And there's sand kicking up. There's still the starships up above, just and I guess that's what the problem is that he's just terrible. Listen, Capper is easily distracted, and that's what's going on here, because he was distracted by cows, now he's distracted by laser fire. To be fair, laser fire is super fucking distracting, so that part I understand completely. Yeah, that's I get it. That's relatable. Okay, so with laser fire strafing down, he's trying to get his bearings, and they're going back and forth. Now this is a second bad roll. I got to do something with this, or I lose, right? Like I'm already at that situation. But my roll is really low, and her roll is really high, I can keep using motivation. I'm going to use a motivation to reroll. I mean, motivation's useless if I'm dead. I'm going to use motivation to reroll. I mean, okay, somebody better at math, right? So I have a +4, and she is +3. And her +3 and a 5 is an 8. My 4 and a 2 is a 6. I guess I should re-roll mine. Okay, here we go. We're even again. Okay, so now I'm going to use my last motivation to re-roll hers. Okay. So 3, 3, 6, 4, 4, 8. All right, so finally, Capper gets a decent swing off, right? And puts her on her back heels, right? With their fight. I don't even know. Hammer versus vibroblade, laser fire strafing, right? 2 amphibians going at it in the desert. It's crazy, people. Okay, so now they both have lost their 1 armor. So this is it. I have no motivation, and so the next roll is going to be the game changer on what happens in this fight. All right, I have to beat her roll. Okay, this is it. Here we go. Come on out. Okay, wait. I have to envision it. I have to envision a big happy green number and a sad little red number. Yes, I clearly have psychic powers. This is evidence of psychic powers. Oh my god. Okay, so I success on a lead. Choose their fate. Spare or kill. I mean, I would not be in the personality of Capper to spare. Plus, mechanically, I want more notoriety because I'm looking for the lead. So, yeah, that's she finally, he manages to do one of those, things they do where they woo and throw the weapon off to the side. And she's like trying to force his hammer out of his hands, and he just quickly lets it go and runs towards her as she force pulls it. And then as it reaches her, he also reaches her and shoves it up into her nose, and it just goes up. And does she have a nose? She's an amphibian. Whatever. Crushes the front of her head, bone, skull, and she just, her eyes go blank, and she falls to her knees for a second, and then some blood comes out of her nose for a second, and then she slumps over dead. So more notoriety for Capper, who has survived the attack. Whew. I also like the idea or the explanation of Capper taking her out is that, I mean, she's burning down buildings, and I mean, she's clearly murdering people. She's pulling things out of the sky. She's lighting things on fire. She's not a good amphibian as far as amphibians go. So it makes sense that he would take her out of the equation, and then he goes on his way, right? And that was I guess that was exploration, right? So once you do hey, behave yourself. So once you do exploration, you're supposed to do right? You go back and forth, right? So once you've completed the prompt, move to destinations. Yeah, okay. So we're off to destinations. What is our destination? Green and red. 5-1. Oh, okay. A panic. Oh, I forgot to write that I won that battle. She's the one shooting down the ships. Oh man, does it even matter? And burning it doesn't matter. I'm not fixing typos. We're moving on, people. We'll do it live. Burning the buildings. She has a vibroblade. We all know what that is, right? A good close fight. FIGHT. Capper wins. And then he goes on his way. Oh, he never did find out what she was looking for, and she didn't tell him. He could look in the ship, but it sort of defeats the purpose. He's not interested in that. He's interested in finding his prey. A panic-stricken Liktok pleads for help getting off this planet. They offer a small wedge of credits. Choose one. I can direct them to my ship and try to recruit them. Lose a favor. What are they carrying on their back that they're desperately trying to protect? Or ignore their offer as you need to focus on finding your target. Gain one favor. What will happen to them if they don't escape this planet soon? Capper is not a hero, so he would ignore their offer and he would gain a favor. Okay, I'll do that. Wait, did I just do it? I did. Okay. All right, and yeah, so he's going to gain a favor. What's going to happen to them if they don't escape this planet soon? Well, I'll tell you. Careless brilliance. This is a researcher who was far too eager with what he discovered about the oh, I forgot all about the plague. The parasite, right? The parasite that the mystics have. I wonder if they're looking for a cure for that parasite. Uh-oh. I think my dog's going to start singing. Can you hear this? So if there's ever a siren or an alarm, our dog starts singing like this. What about you, Kaylee? You gonna sing too? Oh. Oh. No, not for you. Oh. Okay, well. Lovely distraction. Moving on. I guess she's done now. Yeah, I think that maybe the Mystic Order is actually looking for a cure to this parasitic infection that they had at the farm that I forgot all about, or information that would lead them to it, or data on this guy. What if they're looking for this guy? Okay, they're looking for this guy. This is the guy that was the first to find some information about the parasite that they're having problems with the Jedi. Sorry, the Mystic Order, and but Capper doesn't care, because as far as he's concerned, if this guy stays on the planet, then for all he knows, they'll be back to try to find him, and anywhere this guy goes, they might find him. So not only does Capper not give him a ride off of the planet, he's a bounty hunter. So does he have some sort of tracking device that he could hide on this guy to keep an eye on him? Why are my dice still on the screen? Let's find out. Does Capper... we'll say 50-50. Does Capper have in his possession any sort of device he could use to track somebody? Yes. So Capper, while talking to this guy, slips one of his little nomad tracker gadgets inside the guy's clothing. Capper meets a Lektok researcher desperate to get off the planet. He got too noisy about his findings related to the parasites that are plaguing the planet. Most of all, the Mystic Order, who are now looking for him. Capper won't help him get off the planet. You don't need to watch me type this. Hold on. Okay, there we go. All typed up and nowhere to go. So yeah, he puts his hacker on him, and then hopefully perhaps the Mystic Order will come looking for this guy, and that could be helper to Capper Vril, who I keep trying to call Capper Gant. Okay. So what will happen if they don't escape this planet soon? The Mystic Order will find him, and he will be forced to help them, and he doesn't want to help them because he is loyal to He's not loyal to the Targs, but he's, excuse me, beholden to the Targs. They have something on him, and we wouldn't know what or what that has to do with. So, okay, so off we go, back to our explorations of the land. Let's see where it brings us. Green and red. 4 then. Oh, I don't need to do that. 4. If your notoriety is 4 or higher, you encounter a lead or otherwise roll once. Oh, this is my target. I'm gonna find my target. We might be actually coming to a close of this adventure. I might not have needed to worry about that bug on that guy at all. Your third target isn't a lead at all. They instead become... Your third lead isn't a lead. They are instead a target. Okay, so follow the instructions on page 64. The most successful nomads are relentless in pursuit of a target. As soon as you hit 3 or more, first roll for a showdown to establish the location where you encounter them in the wilderness. Okay, let's do that. Showdown. Green then red. 2 then 6. You meet on a precarious bridge or platform. We just had the Starfighter battle on the last one, so I don't want to do that again. I'm going to re-roll the setting. You're both caught in heavy rain, wind, or sandstorm, obscuring your vision. Sandstorm, definitely very okay. This is very like whatever, Yojimbo or whatever. Caught in a sandstorm and a precarious bridge or platform. So I, after having that encounter with the one mystic order, I'd gone to the nearest small village where I ran into that guy, and so let's say this. I put the tracker on the researcher left, and after just a couple days of waiting and sort of tracking this guy, Navi showed her face. She actually sort of came out of hiding to find this guy, and she, he was in this town with this tracker, and I was waiting outside. I like to think that she's actually skillful enough that she saw me before I saw her, and so that's how she was sort of heading towards the settlement and saw where I was camping across this ravine. So we sort of saw each other and then walked to opposite sides of the bridge. It's the Showcase Showdown. I cannot type. Showcase Showdown. Sandstorm kicks up as we see each other. Why does that word look so funny right now? Okay, whatever. Also, why you're supposed to, if I'm typing it so you can see it, why am I making it so small? From opposite sides. Alright. She's crystalline, right? So she's kind of like shining a little bit as the sand passes by her. Almost as if the abrasiveness of the sand is polishing the dirt off of her crystalline surface and making her somehow shimmer more. Yeah, I like that idea. Alright. High above a canyon or river. Yeah, there's a river down there. We'll say so. That's fine. Target. Okay. We did that. We did the showdown part. Where's the target? Here we go. Okay. Establish it. Then, with their key information, which we already know, established as part of the contract, all that remains is to roll in the target table and discover who they really are. You may get to hear their side of the story before they fight for their life. If you manage to defeat them, choose to capture them for 2 favor. Okay. Oh, okay. So this really is it. This is it. This is the showdown. Okay. This is exciting. All right. Okay. So let's get their information. Let's put this together. Crystalline Rule, Tradition Breaker. So he sort of suspected that she was a mystic from the Mystic Order. This does seem correct. She's not evil looking though. I think yeah, she's dressed in the lighter garb, the brown tunic. Um, she's easy to look at for what she is, for being a crystalline. I don't think they have any pictures of what the different creatures are in this world, but um, and yeah, she basically is gonna let's see. Oh, okay, this is interesting. Who you discover who they really are. All right, well, let's not. I should stop making up fiction in my head before I roll on this table to see what's going on. I roll a 4. You recognize them as a significant figure from the controlling faction. Oh, that's the Targs. So they are not. Okay. Retcon. She is. She's not Mystic Order. Then okay. I like the idea that she's trying to look Mystic Order, and Capper's able to see through it because of his knowledge of the area, or his oh no, man, that is the third sneeze this morning. What is going on? All right, so a significant figure from the controlling faction. They are well prepared for your arrival. How would defeating them affect the controlling faction's authority? Okay. This is someone who works for Targs, and it is her. She has on a disguise to make her look like a Mystic Order. I'm trying to figure out how Capper knows that she is actually from Targ, instead of the Mystic Order. There's some. And she just tells him, right? Like, yeah, you don't know what you're dealing with, and he says, like, I expect more for somebody from the Mystic Order, and she says, you really think I'm a part of that sad group of people? Oh yeah, of course. This is like Batman or James Bond, where they just tell you their secrets because it's the end of the movie. You really think I'm a part of that? Absolutely not. And he says, when I bring you in, people will know that it wasn't the Mystic Order doing all those things, that it was actually the Targs. It'll weaken your hold on this planet. And he smiles and he says, I love to see the bad people go down a peg or two. Actually, he wouldn't say that because he doesn't care. All he cares about is, people who are badasses and how good they are at doing it. But, he likes the idea of toppling the big boys because that's him that did it. That's a notch in his belt. So she starts to cross the bridge. Oh my God. They climb onto a large assault vehicle or trained monster and attack you at range with a powerful weapon. Oh my God, this is a legit boss fight. Okay, so we're on a bridge across a ravine. Okay, so yeah, she starts walking across the bridge towards me, and I start walking across the bridge towards her. The sand's kicking up and knocking the polish, making her shinier and shinier as she walks. And she says, you're meddling with things that you don't understand. And Capper's like, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I'm doing my job. And she's like, well, your job's harder than you think it is. She jumps over the edge of the bridge, right? And which totally startles Capper. But she jumps over the edge of the bridge and then almost immediately rises back up on this, like, hover cycle type vehicle. And just begins immediately spraying gunfire at Capper on the bridge. I don't think it's gonna go well. This is my second Let's Play, like actual play of a character in an RPG, and I think I'm gonna be 2 for 2 for them dying with this. This is okay. Here we go. They are in a large. They have 3 and 3. Okay, 3. They have 3 defense and 3 attack. So, and it's at range. I only have +1 at range. So she starts shooting with her gunfire. I take out my rifle and I start running back. I'm shooting. I'm running and looking behind me and shooting over my shoulder as I try to get off of the bridge, or Capper or whoever. You know what I mean? I don't have any motivation left. I used all of the motivation on the last fight. So here we go. They have 3 and 3. I just need to remember that they have 3 and 3. Come on. All right, so yeah, so they have 8 and I have 5. So I lose a defense. Yeah, just like pieces of the bridge are flying up. I didn't decide what kind of bridge it was. In my head, it's like a sort of like a. It's not a rope bridge per se, but it's kind of like a. It's not made of stone or anything like that. It's like a wooden bridge. It's a wooden bridge. But it's just splinters and stuff are shooting up as he's running. Okay, but now since we're on a second attack, my laser rifle gets slightly better. Let's see. Yes, I get +2 now instead of +1. Oh God. Okay, let's go. You want to see? Yeah, that's what just happened. Okay. If you fail an attack, it's time to roll for your fate. I wish I had a special die. Choose whether to die and end the game or get badly beaten up, leading to an injury or some damage to your equipment. How do we want to do this, folks? Here's the thing. There are so many games I want to play. And I have been dying to give this one a try, and I'm glad that I did, and I enjoyed every bit of it. But if I roll a 1 or a 2, that's it for Capper. We're not because getting a +1 or a -1 or for the rest of the game, that's gonna be a problem anyways. So that's just gonna be a very slow downhill slope. Maybe one day we'll play again with the. I feel like I'm killing him already. I haven't even rolled. All right, we should roll the red die. Let's see that. Can we have a dice focus roll here? Okay, here we go. So on a 1 or a 2, Capper meets his fate. 3 or 4, local law enforcement interrupt just as the opponent prepares to deliver a decisive blow. And then 5 or 6, you flee from the confrontation and hide somewhere. Okay. I mean, this might not be over. Let's find out. It's not over? Okay. Capper lives. Capper's not dead. Local law enforcement somehow interrupt the fight just as they're about to... so I'm running across the bridge. There's machine gun fire, blah, blah, blah. I'm hiding behind a rock, and then some other vehicles show up, kicking up dust, right? And, Navi Mod, you are bound by law. And they start shooting, and she spits out a swear and turns tail and takes off and leaves. There's a part of me at that point I got excited about playing other games, and I was like, oh, I get to play other games now because Capper died. We just narrated all that. Capper almost dies. She escapes. That's it. That's all we're writing in the notes. Okay. I don't need. All I need to know is that happened. How embarrassing for Capper, who now has to find his way. That was an encounter, so we're back on to destinations. Capper. 5 and 3. You find yourself being jostled by a growing crowd of locals. They are all trying to catch a glimpse of something nearby. You're stuck watching a long convoy for the leader of the controlling faction. Oh, so there's there's a hut, a targ, a big slime thing on one of their little, whatever plinths, big thing going through town, and it's all and everybody's like cheering and excited because I guess they actually like him. I don't like him. I think he's a dick. How does the crowd react to their presence? Well, I just said the crowd liked them. I lost. Lose the motivation. Hey, good news. I don't have any motivation to lose. All right, let's see if I can find my prey again. Nothing eventful happens. Gain a motivation and roll a die. All right, let's see here. What destruction do you see caused by the intergalactic war? Well, I'll tell you. We see devoted food. I like the idea that there is like food being sort of taken away from the people. So what I see is piles of food that are being, taxed from the people and brought into like the Targ Palace. So they're living in opulence, and the Targ are giving the food out. So maybe what we saw at the parade was people just trying to curry favor from the Targ by looking like they're excited to see them as they go down the street because they want them to hand out food, because they're it's being tightly controlled by the Targs who gets food. Sorry, I just got a text from Xfinity informing me that I do not have internet, so this may not get posted today. That's unfortunate. What are you gonna do, right? That's okay. Nobody's watching anyways. Okay, so if you are watching this, please write banana in the comments. I will be impressed and amazed. All right, so the food stores are what I see happening to the poor people there. That was exploration. Destination table. Let's go. 6 and 4. That sounds familiar. 6. Something about this place seems familiar, like you've been here before. You wander aimlessly for a while. It's a happy memory related to your origin. Gain a motivation. Okay. What familiar object or place do you spend some time interacting with? It's a happy memory related to your origin. Okay, so I think I'm going to say that I found my way back to Scab the Targ's palace, and in the palace I found that they do have games. They have fighting games, and because they have fighting games, they have gladiatorial dorms, whatever, a fighting school, you name it. And he loves to see it. Although he hates that he was enslaved, and he hates that he was persecuted, he loves that he was a badass, and he loves that he did good in the ring. And so he is happy. He's happy to see that here, and he gets a kick out of it. So that's what happens while he's back at the palace. He goes out in search of his quarry. I roll a 2. I roll on the exploration events table, which is 4 and then 5. Let's see. 4 and then 5. You find a stubborn local arguing with 2 hostiles from the controlling faction. They fight at range, but I'm going to try to intimidate them or threaten them to get them to go away. I add half my notoriety. Notoriety is 4, so I add 2. I don't do well. I do have a motivation, though. Wait, didn't I get them? I just got a motivation. Yeah, I'm going to use the motivation to reroll. Oh, for God's sake. I have 2 motivation? Huh. I don't remember where I got the other one from, but we're using it. That's better. Haha. Thanks, little corner. Alright, so successfully they back down, no longer a threat. And what do they say as they're leaving? They're like, they back down realizing they're not the target. Go your way, nomad, and I hope we don't meet again. I think they realize that I'm a nomad, and as they back down and they realize, like, so I threaten them, and they're like, "Oh shit, I'm about to eat it," and and then when they see that I'm a nomad, they're like, "Oh, you're okay. You don't want me. You don't want any trouble. You're looking for somebody else. These are not the bums. These are not the bums you're looking for, basically." Right? That was an encounter event, exploration event, right? Wait, oh no, I lost it. Hold on. Okay, yeah, here it is. Stubborn local arguing with 2 hostiles from the controlling faction. I get them to go away, and I recruit the local automatically. Yeah, okay. So I recruit the local automatically, who is very grateful. They are... Okay, let's see who they are. Recruit automatically. Roll in the assets table. Scrap vendor or beast herder? This could be handy. No, don't scroll. I'm trying to highlight. There we go. Alright, so this provides +1 against your next leader target, and then the rest then requires rest or repairs and may not be used again. Well, yeah, all the assets are just a single-use thing. So I have a single-use. Basically, it's a +1 heart against leader target. +1 H versus lead or target. It's going to be a target. Alright, so that's a little... That does help my odds a little bit the next time I run into Navi, who is a bum, and we don't like her. And the beast herder, I'm not that concerned about their species and personality, because I'm making my way here. They are... Oh, they're crystalline too. So Sealar Noon, the crystalline beast herder. Crystalline Beast Herder sounds like the name of a 90s band. Okay. And then... What do we know? Oh, a personality table? Sure. Another 2, skittish. Yeah, skittish Beast Herder. Who hooks me up with a beast of burden. Oh wait, I do have that marked, right? Yeah, it's just hard to tell. Okay. That's done. Do I even need to keep them on here if they're already used? I'll leave it there. It doesn't matter. All right, good show. So you're welcome, skittish beast herder who was being harassed for. They were mad that your beasts were, I don't know, bestial. Let's see. Okay. I like the idea that Capper is a little emboldened, a little happier. I mean, obviously, I like the idea that even though mechanically there are reasons for the motivation being so low. Oh, I totally spent that. That he is... Oh, wait, did I get some back for succeeding? No, I did not. He feels a little better having a beast and some sort of creature that he can ride on. That's going to help him if he comes up across Navi again. I'm sure he's a little bruised and embarrassed and pissed that things didn't go so well for him this time around. And I think we're probably going to stop here as he sort of hangs out and licks his wounds a little bit. And begins to come up with the plan for what he's going to do the next time he runs across Navi Mod. Hopefully a better encounter. Although, my God, she had a 3+3. That's so much. I mean, this helps a little bit because, like, if we're melee, then I'll have a 4+4+2. We're gonna see what happens. Yeah, because it's been an hour and it's time to take a break, and we'll stop here with Capper and see what happens to him next time. So, until then, sports fans, see you next time. Carry on with courage. Bye.